This call is being recorded.
Beautiful. Thank you for your patience. Um, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions, anything you'd like to mention. That's totally fine. You are more
Okay.
than so. Date, place, birth. Okay, so in this Synastry reading we have here, let me see, Jade on. There we go.
Oh, I'm looking at her city and state, and it's you have Atlas, Ohio, and it's Altus,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Uh-huh.
There we go. Appreciate.
No problem. Altus.
There we go. That's why.
Oh, ALTS
Oh
or
no.
ALU. Sorry, ALTUS. Yeah, and it's Oklahoma. Yep.
Beautiful. Okay.
Perfect.
Sweet. Okay. So we do see this is a relationship between. Oh, nice. So we see you have your sun and moon in Leo, and then we see that she has her sun in Virgo. So first of all, I love these readings because they reveal so much as far as patterning and really interlay a very deep understanding. So first thing that I am going to do is I'm going to share an article about alien constructs because both of you have this very prevalent in your chart. She has moon on Pluto, which is one of the strongest ones, the vessel of Hades. You have Uranus on your rising and Saturn close to your rising, which is very, very also magical. So I'm going to include that as well. I'm going to put the article. When you receive this report or reading, you're going to get a email from WeTransfer.
Okay.
And with the recording, we'll include notes, and this will be in a note section. So, Uranus on your rising gives you the ability to see the future, talk to anyone of any station or status, channel higher frequency beings, raise energetic frequencies, amongst other amazing things. Saturn, that's near it, since obviously you're born in '86, give this groundedness to, of course, the integrity of your vision and how you in a way add more seriousness here. So aligned to the rising makes you a beneficial role model for leaders. It's not near it, but I'm going to put it there anyway. You can confront the dark side and win. Now, this is important as a lead role character. You know, Leo rising or Leo sun and moon. You were born on the new moon. That's such a huge deal. So this really speaks more to the nature of the new. You being born on a new moon means that you're an omen for new beginnings. And as a Sag rising, you're here to teach people about the meaning of love and courage through the boldness, just inspiration. This boldness that goes into expressing your creativity and teaching people how this is done. But as a Sagittarius rising, I have to use Andrew Tate as an example because he was also born '86, except his sun is on that Sagittarius energy. And a key feature of Saturn and Uranus and what your karma for '86 is for is literally to bust the matrix. So it was amazing to see him come through and really speak of all this. Oh, you need to get out the matrix. This is really his version of how he does this. But this is what all of y'all do. '86, '87. It's part of your karma and it's what you embody as far as this eccentricity of personality to really uplift people out of an old way of doing things, or in this day and age using technology to just innovate old models of success and whatnot. But we see that she also was born in '88, and so she has Saturn and Uranus also in Sag. And so the reason why I have to kind of bring into those dynamics is you also embody that for her. So in an indirect way, you also holding that space, you are going to now be an instrument of this intuitive facet of her karma as well, which now will also kind of attach this sense of karmic responsibility around your nature with. When I see stuff like this in a sense binds you together. It's like it's not really an attachment, but it adds a karmic element to the relationship. On top of that, of course, she has moon on Pluto, so she can sense negativity, she can discover other secrets. This is like CIA energy. Sun in Virgo, Moon in Scorpio, so she could definitely get to the bottom of the situation. And it's even wilder because her rising is Libra, so she manifests this soul energy, and the mastery of her sun is in a hidden sense where, of course, already having the hermit archetype, she is going to be in a position to be more private, but also is very much so legendary and albeit misunderstood because of how masterfully she'll analyze details. Now, right off the bat, there's a very amazing double whammy in this chart that I will really attribute as a huge factor in attracting both of you together. And it's the fact that her Venus is in Leo and your Venus is in Virgo. And so she's really literally the awareness of your heart. Or and vice versa. Obviously, Venus contacts we love for from experience. I have my Venus in Taurus, and every or most women with Sun in Taurus, I just naturally find beautiful because they activate that awareness of what I find beautiful. So, especially with Venus being the archetype of like the girlfriend or the lover, the moon is going to be the woman in your life and your wife, and Venus is going to be your lover. Whereas Jupiter for the woman is going to have the husband archetype, and then Mars is going to be her lover, right? But we do see, but it kind of works in different ways. And why this is really interesting is we know that your Jupiter is opposite her sun. And so that opposition kind of does give a dynamic and can allude towards this Jupiterian aspect of that. And then, of course, seeing that her Jupiter falls in your sixth, near your seventh, bring her presence brings a lot of expansion as a partner to you in this life. But once again, just seeing that your sun is on her Venus and her sun is on your Venus, both of you literally activate each other's hearts. Huge deal. And with her Venus being on your moon, this will also allude to the fact that she actually loves who you are on the inside. And you, of course, love who she is. You have a natural affinity towards finding each other's spirits beautiful. It's a really good, pleasant aspect that you want to see in a relationship. And now, of course, you have the 21-degree Sag rising. She has the 28-degree Libra rising. And as we'll look at the composite, we see that both of that, of course, meets in Scorpio, which is very key because the nodal eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus are what have unlocked the nature of this relationship. I would say out of 10 synastry readings I've done during this period, at least 6 or 5 featured composite Scorpio or Taurus risings because the nodes are bringing them together. It's like really establishing or denoting that. And then on top of that is a Leo sun and moon. Saturn that's going opposite your sun has been also testing the knowledgeable dynamic of how you deal with others in relationships and strengthening your awareness of partnerships. This will prepare when to get married, have a business partner. But because this is in your third house, it's developing your attitude and approach around what you think knowledgeably about others, as it's testing you to make sure you don't allow other people to undermine your value or take advantage of you. So, with that being said, we know both of you have the Venus mutual receptivity. We know you have Chiron on your seventh, which personally for you, you may effortlessly trigger other people because you have healing communication. And that's a fancy way of saying that the truth you speak kind of pisses people off because maybe it could just be a little bit too radical, but it's the truth. But you actually genuinely heal people here. So it's attached to your DC, and relationships will also be truly healing relative to the conversations, albeit somewhat opposite Uranus eccentric, really do help other people come into, like, you can just say a word to someone and give them flash insights and really kind of show them the higher meaning of how to strengthen the boldness and courage that goes into this, amongst other things. Now, if we look deeper, we know that you have Mars retrograde in Capricorn, and she has Mars in Aries, which is very interesting. I have Mars in Aries, and Mars in Aries is in its dignity. Mars in Capricorn is in its exaltation. So that's very interesting that both of you have these, in that I remember seeing, first of all, David Goggins has Mars in Capricorn. He's a freaking monster.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the determination to just, of course, discipline a lot of your actions. And then I remember seeing somebody uh be recorded as having the most powerful punch in the UFC. When I saw that, I was like, he either has Mars in Aries or Capricorn. I looked at his chart, Mars in Capricorn. It's bar none the most powerful Mars. Like, you don't get more powerful than that. As a Sag rising, you have superpowers. And so the way you use those superpowers is through the expression of this exalted Mars and the organization and consolidation of how powerful and disciplined you not only take action, but now in the second house, this is a powerful, that power you manifest with. And Neptune here transcends the supernatural quality of how you do this. So if it was just Mars, you would have this determined focus of being able to move forward practically, but Neptune now adds a supernatural quality to your superpowers. So it's kind of like being able to draw imaginary energy from your astral realm imagination or inner world to almost add power to this already powerful aspect. There's a supernatural element to it that's not as linear as you think and is personal to you. That being said, Mars in Aries, I believe, is the only other Mars that's just as powerful as Mars in Capricorn, but it doesn't have the staying power. So Mars in Aries is just as powerful as Mars in Capricorn, but in spurts. And this is where, as someone who has it, like, before I can think about what it is I'm doing, I already did it. And versus Mars and Capricorn that can finish a desire because they sustain it over time, and they just keep that discipline. So this works really well together because her Mars placement actually leads and with her desire guides you towards your destiny. She's very connected to your node. So her Mercury unlocks your south node, her personality, her south node on your AC. I have to give an excerpt of that. I'm going to give you the article for that. That's actually very powerful. And it's not really the most common, but it's also not uncommon. Basically, this is going to denote a very interesting sense of course, being very familiar with each other. I'm going to put this link in the description box so you can check that out. But it's basically going to be south node, and I'll put the excerpt there too. South ascendant south node. This aspect indicates compatibility, comfort, and familiarity. You feel as though you are meant to be. Indeed, this is an indication that two of you are soulmates. You feel very attracted and attached to one another, and a physical attraction is off the charts. You immediately feel a sense of recognition when the two of you meet. The ascended person, which would be her, freely gives to the node person, but the node person may restrict or limit the ascended person in the way they present themselves to the world. So this is really just going to align a lot of her personality with where you're coming from, giving that familiar feeling, and also putting you in a position to take advantage of how she helps unlock your comfort and early childhood lessons, which with South Node Libra, you're really good at compromising and working and connecting with others, but your destiny is to literally do you. It's literally to take the lead, and especially when it comes to your passions and what you love. So it's like being a part of a basketball team or being a part of a collective, and now you put out an album and your collective supports what you do. It's like you're destined to come into independence doing what you love creatively, doing what you're passionate about. And of course, with her Mars there, she's going to challenge you with her instinctual actions and passion to move forward towards your destiny. And the reason why this is really cool is you have Sag, you are the Leo, you don't have Aries. So this is the challenge for you, to where you have this social awareness of how to really be this bonfire and attract people towards this light. And then you have the Sagittarius perception, which gives you this higher vision and higher meaning of an experience. But putting it all together for how to take individual action, you have the North Node there, but she really helps guide you towards taking those actions basically with what she does. And that's what completes the fire trine, which will really take this essence of your passion, and then, she'll challenge you with what direction she moves forward, which is also a bit challenging to her as a Virgo sun, because this quincunx is her sun and moon. And so her personality is able to take the balanced nature of her artist self, and also push that through into how she directly, deals with others, and is inspired to. Now, this is even cooler because your North Node is on her seventh house. And so you're destined to be with her. You're destined to kind of take action with her in this vein. Whereas her Chiron is opposite your Mars. So she's going to trigger, at least indirectly, how powerful it is you take action by drawing out more sincerity and emotional sincerity. Or you may trigger her in this vein by emotionally, or sensitively triggering her in ways that might be unconscious, just based on how detached your actions are. Both of these work well together. It's just when they're imbalanced, these issues will come through. Another thing that we see here, interestingly enough, is that both of you inspire each other towards career success and work. This works really well for career. So her personality and the way she processes information is the archetype of your career and legacy. Whereas the MC in Libra is the legacy of being a social leader, of combining artists and social leadership together to move forward collectively with a community, or at least to move forward cooperatively. So you're going to be focused more on themes of justice, law. This is a great MC to have to get in the legal field, or at least anything to do cooperatively with other people. And her personality is now embodying the archetype of what you look up to. So she will, of course, be in a position to help manage, or at least personally direct you in your career. Whereas she has the MC in Leo. So her legacy is to be an inspiration. Wait a minute. Yeah. Her legacy is to be an inspiration. Her legacy is, of course, to be on stage, to be in the spotlight. And you directly light that up. You directly will now be the essence of what she looks up to, because you literally are that. You embody that essence. And so you'll both be in positions to help uplift each other outside your comfort zones. You'll be aware of opportunities that she directly can be a part of to advance her career. And that makes this a very dynamic partnership, you being in her 10th house and her being in your 10th house. Can't make this up. And I don't think it's a coincidence, because of course this definitely enables both of you to be aware of where you're going. If this was fourth house, it'd be so much more private and it'd be a lot more comfortable, but this really shakes up a lot of that comfort zone. Her North Node is in Pisces, where your Jupiter is. So you also help expand the nature of the challenge for her to really dream forward and imagineer. Because her being on the South Node, she can get very comfortable with analyzing the situation, which is what she's meant to do. But of course, not get too stuck on everything she knows is real. The challenge is for her to believe based on her analysis of what could be possible. Because with South Node, on the Sun in Virgo, it's gonna be hard for her not to be extremely right about what she analyzes about, and now that can remove possibility for belief, because you already are so aware of what is. This kind of pushes you to make miracles. Whereas your Venus is on her South Node, so this is another point of familiarity, and this article will speak to that too. This aspect denotes a past life connection between two individuals where the two were most likely lovers or partners. So that's something else you'd be able to check out in that article. But it, with this pipeline of Venus and Jupiter, takes the element of how you personally expand the imaginative sense of your heart and this creative inner space in your imaginative inner world, and then of course express this palatably in perfect design through Venus, analytically. So it's like having that inner imagination that's boundless, but then you know how to precisely express that on point. And that helps her with her destiny, because of course this Piscean part is her sixth house. So you help evolve and expand the creativity that goes into how she integrates her lifestyle and the behavior around her lifestyle. Cool. your Mercury square, just like your Mars square. So as she's more impactful and dynamic, you'll be in a position to help steady her steps and, of course, organize more longevity, whereas she'll be in a position to create more excitement. And then with your Mercury in Cancer, that helps you hear the vocal inflection in people's voices and is very psychic, will also be challenged by her social way of functioning, which is more logically based, and she being more analytical. And even though it does connect with her Scorpio moon, and you being a lot more passionate, will go into really clashing in the way you communicate, but because they're both cardinal, moving both of you forward accordingly in that vein as well. She'll understand more the social context of how you feel, and you'll be able to direct more the higher meaning and vision of what she analyzes socially and how she kind of communicates in this artistic imbalanced way. Now, if we look at the composite chart, both of you are Scorpio rising. So this sets both of you up to be in that position where the eclipse is unlocking this relationship, especially since early 2022. And the composite moon is 28 degrees Virgo. So both of you have the vibration of mastery, perfect mastery, where the sun is on Venus, MC Mercury. This is a new moon connection. It was like hours after the new moon. So this is an omen for a new beginning, a new change in lifestyle, and of course, behavior. Now, this being an MC focused relationship doubles down on the fact that both of you are meant to achieve success together, where the MC in Virgo is meant to change the society around you, impacting the ways around you, analyze information or data, and change their behavior, which you'll influence. I always love seeing the composite sun on Venus. This is 9 of Pentacles in Virgo, so it's a really great potential to make money together. But even if you guys don't work together in a business, it's just this ability to push both of you forward mutually in your goals. And the Venusian aspect adds a lot of mutual love and with Mercury communication. So this is highly analytical. That with Scorpio adds a very intense personality to things. And now Jupiter, that's going to come into the return in April into May, speak of this very exciting, passionate lifestyle that can be lived, connected to the Uranus and Neptune in the second, representing this amazing visual sense of value that you both manifest, this magic meaning that goes into the vision of how to integrate these lifestyle mechanics and actions, expand what more both of you can do together. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the composite moon is 28 Virgo, the Chiron is 28 Gemini. These 28-degree placements kind of ring and connect with each other so that this can help you feel the details around how you can take this authentic action where you're feeling in the nature of what the society around you feels about both of you, and then how you integrate that uniquely. And this being tied to the destiny where eventually the nodes will return, maybe later, like 2024-ish or 2025. And of course, Saturn in 2025 will go through here too. So that in a nutshell is preparing for that. But regardless, Chiron squaring the moon will really just trigger through conversation and communication vulnerabilities with other people you both communicate and how you both feel about that. And it doesn't hurt to have Saturn that's transiting to Mars, which is going to strengthen how both of you take this unconventional and knowledgeable action together. And that, I would say in a nutshell, is the Synastry chart. Did you have any questions at all?
Do you see any challenges that we might face? I know in the past we've had on and off again type thing. Do you see any of that where we could sustain through something like that or grow? I noticed you had mentioned something about new moon and changes of behavior, and
Mm-hmm.
could you speak to any of that?
Yeah, that's actually very revealing because Jupiter, since January to May of 2022, evolved Pisces, which is opposite her sun, but also opposite both of your energies. So that was the evolution of this relationship, which expanded the dynamics and could have caused for more fluctuation. From March of 2023 to 2025 is going to be the 2-year opposition of Saturn, which I am fully convinced is going to prepare both of you for marriage or to at least stabilize these dynamics. So this karmic element is what's going to now strengthen this mutable fluctuation, and it's what's going to kind of make or break whether you commit to each other or just call it quits. But that I feel like that's what's going to do it. And as soon as it enters there, because you're both 3 degrees, that opposition is what's going to bring the karmic lesson of both of you coming together and making something happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be difficult, but that difficulty is what's going to create the commitment.
Okay. Yeah. Great. I can't think of any more questions. This was great. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. I'm going to email this to you right now, and you'll get it from WeTransfer.
Awesome. Cool.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You stay blessed, dog. Have a blessed weekend.